Okay, just before I go, I want to make one little note about this programmer here. Now, I programmed it using the VVDI, and I wasn't able to find, via the Key DIY one, and I wasn't able to find the exact make and model for the remote control. Now I've started up the Silka one, and I'm going to zoom you right in here so you can see what I'm doing. Let's just focus. Okay. And I actually got to zoom out just enough. Okay, so I went through, and I wasn't able to do it when I was trying to do it, but now I'm inside. I'll do it. So this one is 2007-2015, and this is the older shape key. So what I'm seeing here is it doesn't have the key that we were working on, which was a flip out key. This is the old key with the single button remote control, and there's no onboard programming. MVP AD100, it's got a no transponder you can generate. Now, we generated the right chip, we generated the right remote using the Key DIY one, and it went in first go, no troubles. The next thing I'm noticing is the Smart Pro. It should say Smart Pro here, or MVP, can actually program in the remote, and I've got a big red there. Now that's a little bit frustrating because I was able to do it with the Lonsdor and it went straight through, and the remote control I was using was just one close enough at the right frequency, which had the same amount of buttons which looked the same, and everything kind of went together and worked. As where if I was to be generating one and presented with one, and this is what I'm actually using, I would say to the customer, no, it's not there, because I've gone, I was looking for an IMAX and I've only got 2007 to 2015. So what happens if you've got a later one than that, which we did? We're out of luck. And that's where the other one is set apart, the Key DIY one. I mean, they seem to have menus and more newer remotes by the look of it. I mean, I don't generate a lot, but take that as an example. I mean, where is it here? I can't see it, and we're under Australia too. Australia, iLoad 2014, IMAX 2015. Even under iLoad, we're limited to the one button one, and it's saying onboard programming no, MVP programming no. So they're two little gripes. I paid $1,400 for this, and for the Key DIY one I paid $50. It's just a little Bluetooth cable. I didn't have any connection issues. With this one I had huge connection issues, and one of the biggest issues was that when I tried to do the Bluetooth, it wouldn't sync, wouldn't pair, wouldn't do anything. I actually had to come back to the workshop, plug in this tool here. I had to plug this in, okay, do an update via the PC, and it seemed to work fine on the PC. Then I disconnected and tried to connect my app, and it found it straight away. It turned up as Silka SRP, which it should, and then it was able to connect, and then it did a download to it, and once it downloaded, and it added a few more things. One of the things it added was actually Hyundai and Kia remotes, and then I go through and see whether or not it would have worked or not, and I'm saying no, it wouldn't. So that's a little bit annoying to not see the more current remotes with this particular type of system. So it's just dropped out now. But anyway, that's my gripe. This one here, as an investment, to be quite honest, I spent $1,400 plus remotes and all the rest. Not very happy, Jan. Not very happy at all. I won't be doing that again. It's disappointing for me. It's disappointing. Today is another prime example of how disappointing it was. Couldn't connect. Had to do an update, so I had to use a different tool. And this is what I was saying about always carrying two tools, two systems, because if one fails, you've got another way of doing the job. So in the end, that's what we ended up having to do. We ended up having to use Key DIY to generate the remote, then we used the VVDI to generate the chip, and then we put it all together, the Key DIY remote with the chip, and then we put a Silka blade into it. And I wanted to use up a Silka remote, and I wanted to use up a Silka blade, and they all match properly, but instead the blade was slightly different. So that's the blade one there, but that's my own fault for not having Key DIY blades as well. So leave your comments down below, and thanks for watching.